What is up, people? My name is Dinesh and we are back with another video. Corridor Crew just uploaded VFX artists react to bad and great CGI number 19, and seeing by the thumbnail we can see that there's the same guy who was in the previous VFX artist reacts. He's a VFX supervisor. He worked on Avengers, Endgame stuff and Lord of the Rings stuff. So yeah, without any further ado, we're just gonna jump into it. So we're gonna start 1, 2, 3, go.
So these are all miniature environments that were shot.
Really?
Gollum, his facial performance was entirely keyframed.
What the fuck?
Blew my mind.
There's a couple of big advances we made for this film.
Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video.
Gollum?
Stick to the end to see how you can save
Face expression were keyframed?
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Visual
God damn.
React. Today we have a very special guest.
Matt.
You may have seen him in our previous episode talking about Endgame. We have Matt Aitken with us today. Matt joins us from Weta Digital.
Weta
In
Digital.
today's episode, I think we want to talk about some of the older movies that you have worked on and some of the advances that Weta Digital has made over the course of the last, 25 years.
Shall not pass!
When you started working at Weta, it was basically just you and one other person doing the effects.
Ah, damn, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
So you're like as OG Weta as it gets.
I've seen Weta be lots of different variations along the way. Going way back to the early days of the company, the film project that really put us on the map was Lord of the Rings.
The work was, in a lot of ways, much more difficult because there was a lot more character work.
One of the things I found amusing from looking at the behind the scenes to Lord of the Rings was how much entertainment Peter derived from the turnovers when he would give you guys a really hard shot to figure out.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen that.
Sort of present these shots and just see how many drop jaws you can get out of one of these turnovers.
I'm sure the roto artists must suffer psychological problems.
I think about Peter is that he set up Weta Digital because he recognized very early on that it was going to be a really useful tool for him to make the kind of films that he liked to make.
Right.
They always had a big visual effects component. He's never really felt like an outsider to us. He's always been part of the process. Yeah.
Look at him.
What do you think was the biggest generational leap between
Look at
Lord
his
of the Rings
expressions.
Gollum and Hobbit Gollum?
Lord of the Rings Gollum, his facial performance was entirely keyframed. Like, we didn't have facial motion capture at all.
When it's Smeagol having a conversation
Entire
with Gollum,
face
and he's going
expression
back and forth,
keyframed.
Yeah.
that's all hand animated to match Andy Serkis's performance, but
Yeah.
there's no automated tasks.
132 different controls. So they're just keyframing, between 0 and 1. The facial
Just thinking about it, I feel tired. I feel like I can't do that anymore. Like, entire face expression keyframed. I feel like I should just go to bed, like sleep right now. I feel that much tired just thinking about it. God damn, they are really good.
component would take a good 2 weeks to do for like maybe a 2-second shot, typical 2.5 second look. So there's a lot of painstaking work going on there, really crafting it.
And we want it. Kind of scared me right now.
Andy will have been on set with these guys, clambering around. He's very athletic, Andy. We painted him out of every shot that Gollum's in.
Which is its own painting.
The wider shot!
Yeah, because Andy tends to poke out around the edges of Gollum, Andy did motion capture on a motion capture stage at a separate time that we incorporated into these plates. It must have been really difficult for Andy in Lord of the Rings to kind of do all this work on the motion capture stage when Elijah wasn't there and he was just basically working to an audio track. But by the time we got to The Hobbit, we were able to on-set motion capture simultaneous with the live-action photography, including the facial motion capture. It was a much more actor-friendly approach. The world premiere for the third Lord of the Rings film.
This is Todd.
Hi.
This
Do you
is
have an
Todd's
ad?
mom.
Hi.
In a moment, Todd's mom will read her son's internet browsing history.
What the fuck?
What?
Aloud, please.
Maybe later I'll watch it.
The film was actually in Wellington, New Zealand, where we are based. We had a great party afterwards. So then I checked my inbox, and Peter had a King Kong meeting scheduled for 8 o'clock the next morning.
Oh no!
He was like, "Yeah, let's keep going.
I'm sorry.
Let's keep going."
Straight up like off the party.
Yeah,
You're gonna sleep in the next day.
we were on board with it. We wanted to keep going as well. King Kong was like a really fantastic project to work on.
I gotta say, the CGI in this movie looks like a movie from 10 years after its time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of big advances we made for this film. We got fur going. That was one of the big challenges. We hadn't really done fur to this level before. And we were doing facial motion capture for the first time. So Andy Serkis, who did the reference performance for Kong, unlike, say, for Gollum, here we're actually driving Kong's facial performance.
What was one of the biggest challenges you guys faced for this sequence?
Well, there's...
Where do I begin?
Looking back on this, what occurs to me, you know, at the time of King Kong, we couldn't do the complex natural environment of an island-based jungle. We couldn't do that on the computer. So these are all miniature environments that were shot.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
with motion control camera moves.
Because these are some fast camera moves going on.
Yeah, no, because we've got a motion control camera, we can repeat the camera move on the miniature over and over again with multiple passes, key light passes, fill light passes, fog passes.
Oh, interesting. So you guys can alter those after the fact.
And because light is additive, you know, you can just take those passes and add them together in your comp.
And it's just as simple as putting them on ad mode and call it a day?
Yep, it's exact. We're getting whatever flexibility we can out of the setup.
So there's a lot of compositing work going into this.
Yeah, it's even just to get the environment before you put the creatures in.
So you have to deal with casting a shadow from these CG characters onto this real environment and trying to make them feel like they're really connected.
Exactly. We've laser scanned the miniature. And so we've got that as geometry that we are using as reference. Like when Kong's hanging off the cliff, we need to know where the miniature is.
We're using the same meat packing scanner.
And then there's particle like simulations for interaction with leaves, and some of that's element based and some of it's simulation based. I think we should talk about Kong's death.
So another spoiler alert. At the end of this movie, another character dies.
Kong dies. Sorry, people.
I haven't seen this movie though.
One of the ways that we work really hard to make our characters seem alive is by the way we light their eyes. We'll make sure that we get a nice highlight in the eyes, and that's often a cheated light that we have to bring in. We had this moment where Kong dies, and one of the ways that we let the audience know subtly that he has actually died is that we turn all those light passes off. And I think if you know that that's happening, you actually get to see it.
Oh yeah, there goes the cute little like...
Oh, that's smart.
It's like his eyes are drying out.
So I don't know if that people are consciously aware of that, but I think they emotionally will respond to what that means.
That's really fascinating.
Whoa.
I always get excited when there's like an effect that's something that anybody could do, and it brings like emotional power with it. King Kong himself, there's hair simulations and skin simulations, and motion capture, but the reflections in the eye disappearing.
That's the key to the
For some
shot.
reason I got chills.
That's what really makes it, yeah.
Do you have any more like favorite characters like dying that you want to those moments?
We could talk about Spidey blipping out at the end of Infinity War if you want to. Haven't we put ourselves through enough already?
You want to see more of these videos? Consider subscribing. That's the best way to make sure you don't miss out on an episode. These are fun to do, and I bet they're
What's a shot that's inspired you, or a shot that
4, 3, 2, 1, and there's an ad coming.
How is this done?
There's an ad.
Hi.
Hello.
Have you always wanted to learn to code? But
I
don't
know how to code.
stuff? Would you like?
I know how to
The
code.
particular scene that sticks in my mind is the Jurassic Park T-Rex in the rain.
He worked on Jurassic Park.
Dr. Grant.
It still holds up, you know. It's just amazing work. So they're using a really clever shader to simulate the flow of water off the back of the T-Rex here. A shader describes the interaction of light with the surface of an object, whatever the material is. So the fact that the surface of this T-Rex looks like wet reptile skin, that's the shader doing that. I was doing my master's in computer graphics when Jurassic Park came out, and I went to that with my wife and a good buddy, and they were like, "Oh, that was cool, that was fun." And I was like, "Don't you realize what you just said? It's all changed."
Speaking of amazing visual effects, do you have one that you want us to take a look at? Leave a comment down below. We'll read it, and maybe in the very next episode, we'll take a look.
Avatar.
Run, don't run, what?
Run, definitely run! Avatar was the highest grossing movie of all time until your most recent movie came out.
I think we did about 90% of the shots.
Gotcha.
I helped in a pre-production context, so kind of building the world. all the jungle environments in Avatar were CG.
Yeah.
And there were no miniatures shot for Avatar at all. So that represents a huge change in the way that, in general, filmmakers approached, because it wasn't just us, it was everybody who was making that same transition at that time.
Yeah.
This shot right here, I spoke about this in another VFX Artist React. The water in this shot blew my mind when I saw this. I'd never seen water like it before.
It was certainly the best water we'd done. I think we continue to get better at this stuff. It's all done in CG. The simulation includes foam passes, it includes a sense of aeration, which is bubbles, micro bubbles in the water, so you get that kind of foaming and clouding of the water, so it's not just like a clear volume. It really aids the sense of it looking like real water.
So I do have one scene in particular from Avatar that kind of blew me away.
Jake?
It's one thing to have like digital actors interacting with real actors, but the Na'vi are very tall.
Yeah.
They're way taller than
tall,
humans.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she is interacting with the real play photography of Jake Sully here and maintaining correct eye lines.
Putting things on his face?
This may be one of the scenes that we shot with a system we call Simulcam, where we have motion control happening on a separate stage but adjacent to the live action stage at the same time as principal. So Jim can actually see on a monitor.
What is
he can
happening
see
here?
Zoe playing Neytiri. She might have like a scaled down version of Jake, like as a dummy that she's holding. You'll have grips or stunties, you know, moving Jake around, moving Sam around as Jake, and he can kind of frame up on them, both of them, because he's got a monitor that combines the CG Neytiri that's being driven in real time by Zoe's performance. It means that the shots can feel very natural, as if he's actually there filming, and he can give notes to both of them at the same time. Some of this is probably digital Jake as well.
Yeah, like his hand there is probably digital.
I think it would have to be to get that level of interaction.
Are you guys currently working on the next Avatar movies? Can you even talk about that?
I think I can. I think I can.
Disney?
The first two sequels, they're concentrating on those two now. So Avatar 2 and Avatar 3. We're also working on the films in a pre-production kind of context at Weta Digital, developing kind of revolutionary stuff actually, which I don't think I can go into.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
People should watch out for it because there's some pretty amazing stuff, some very high-end new stuff going on for these films.
What happened? What happened? Why is everybody sad? Should I cry too?
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Jake Watson.
Hi, Jake.
Will you be an angel for yourself? Every day, thousands of people go without their own beautiful, award-winning website, losing friends, clients, and opportunities.
Squarespace.
But thanks to today's sponsor, Squarespace, there's hope. Take my friend Ren over here. Before Squarespace, he had no access to traffic overview, website analytics, or anything
What
else.
happened, Ren? Why so
His
sad?
website was just sitting out there on the open internet blind. But now, thanks to Squarespace, he's looking at those analytics every day. One of the most tragic stories I ever heard was about my friend Dean. Tried to build a website of his own, but didn't have 24/7 award-winning customer service, and as a result, kept waiting days. Well, with Squarespace and their customer service, he found out the answer within minutes. Did I mention their beautiful award-winning templates? Oh, you see, Griffin
Award-winning
back there, you probably see him
template.
back there. He's always back
Yeah.
there. It's the guy with the long hair. Sadly, one time he was out of town and he wanted to make a change to his website, but he didn't have Squarespace, so he couldn't just call one of his coworkers and ask him to make the change through Squarespace's multiple contributors to it. Now be an angel in your own life and let other friends, clients, and opportunities come to you with your own beautiful, award-winning website.
Squarespace.
Just go to squarespace.com/CorridorCrew. And remember, with Squarespace, there's always hope for your website. Don't worry, buddy, they're coming. Don't worry.
Oh, it's your pet now?
Matt, it's been an absolute pleasure and an absolute honor having you here with us. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing some of your knowledge and your experiences with everyone. And it's due to people like you that we have these amazing images that we get to look at on screen, and these, these stories that bring us to worlds that we otherwise never get to see. Thank you so much for taking the time to come out here, to stop by our little studio and sit on our green leather couch.
Yeah, my pleasure, man. Yeah.
I feel like we gained just a tiny fraction of some legitimacy by having you here on the couch. All right, cool.
Glad to contribute. One of the things I love about this field, and one of the reasons why I guess I'm still working in it after 25 or 30 years, is that it's constantly evolving. And wet is constantly evolving, but also the field is constantly changing, and we're developing new techniques, and I like to think we're getting better at what we do, and filmmakers are always setting us new challenges as well, so it's constantly stimulating and interesting for me. Yeah.
That was it. That was VFX Artists React to Bad and Great CGI number 19. I love what Matt do. I really do. First of all, I want to talk about the Gollum scene. They keyframed his expression. Do you know what that means? They keyframed his expression. I don't know how much amount of time they spent on it just to do that. But over here, me just thinking about it, I want to go to bed. I literally just yawned right now thinking about it. It's so mind-blowing. It's amazing. It's amazing stuff. They do amazing stuff. Also, I'm really glad that Corridor Crew put Matt in the video, because before this I didn't know about him, but I love the movies he made, love the movies he worked on, and now I know. So yeah, that's fun. That's awesome when people collaborate and get to know more about each other and each other's stuff. So that was it. That was VFX Artists React to Bad and Great CGI number 19. So if you like this video, give this video a big thumbs up, comment down below, and we can have a discussion about VFX over there. And subscribe to my channel. I upload every single day. So if you don't want to miss a video, just hit that belly icon and you get notified whenever I upload the video. And now I will probably see you in the next video. Bye bye guys.